Hi guys, it's Michaela. So, Angels Share, or Angels Share, I always forget the S, from Kilian, obviously. It's the new one. I got this one on, I think it was the first day it went live on the website, so the 1st of October. Really anticipated fragrance, really excited to get it, I was. Yeah, I thought I would just share my initial thoughts about it. Stunning bottle. Love it. It's just like a little whiskey glass. Perfect presentation. But onto the smell. So I was a little bit anxious to get this because straight after I ordered it, I started to see reviews popping up on Fragrantica comparing it to Eau de Jaune and Ombre Narguilé, so Parfums de Marly Eau de Jaune and Hermès Ombre Narguilé. So I was immediately just a little bit like kind of deflated a little bit because I was so excited to finally try this scent. I've already got a travel size of both of those other fragrances, and I have a full bottle of Dolce Lissir, which smells very much like Eau de Jaune and Ombre Narguilé. I'd probably say specifically Ombre Narguilé. So when I went to look at the notes of all of these scents, common theme is either a honey or a boozy note, kind of. So I'm guessing all four fragrances share a similar type of sweetness, and all four of them have cinnamon. And in my experience, all four have cinnamon as a quite prominent note, especially Angels Share. Oh my gosh, when I got it, I was slightly taken aback because I didn't expect it to be, to my nose anyway, it was predominantly cinnamon I was getting on the initial spray. So yeah, and it's quite a dry, woody cinnamon, so it kind of catches the back of your throat. It's more like a cinnamon bark, whereas I'd say if I were to compare it to Dolce Lissir, Ombre Narguilé, Eau de Jaune, they're more powdery cinnamons. This is very much a cinnamon bark that I'm getting from this, and I think it's the oak that's in here that's giving me that smell, that vibe. So let me just go through the notes really quickly. Okay, so Angels Share has cognac as notes, cinnamon, praline, oak, vanilla, tonka bean and sandalwood. And in the opening, most of what I get, as I said, is cinnamon, but there is very much a boozy presence as well. It's just I wasn't expecting to have so much cinnamon in the opening as well as the cognac. Really nice pairing, really nice, but to agree with some of the reviews that I have been reading on Fragrantica, immediately I got that Ombre Narguilé, Eau de Jaune and Dolce Lissir vibe. Probably say more I'd probably say of the three other fragrances, I get the vibe of Angels Share, I'd say, is most similar to Dolce Lissir in my opinion. Eau de Jaune, yes, with the spiciness of the cinnamon, but it's not as sweet as Angels Share. I'd say Dolce Lissir has a lot more sweetness to it. Obviously there's booziness as well that's coming from the rum in this one. Eau de Jaune doesn't actually have a boozy note. It's, not that I can see, it doesn't have a specific boozy note. It has honey, so that's adding, that is what gives that fragrance its sweetness in the main, but it's not as sweet as Angels Share. There's more of a side by side, so I've got Eau de Janeiro here. Yeah, side by side, there's a touch of powderiness to Eau de Janeiro that I don't find present in Angels Share. There's a sweeter edge to Angels Share, which becomes more and more prominent as the fragrance settles. So I'd say after around the 45-minute mark, this really, really lovely trail of kind of like a golden syrup type smell comes in. Really, really nice. Really cuts through that dry, ever so slight harshness of the cinnamon. Really nice. The cinnamon tones down as well and just starts to blend into the fragrance more. The cognac sticks around, thankfully. But yeah, I'd say opening did have me a little bit like, wasn't expecting that. But yeah, as it settles, only like 45 minutes in, an hour in, the notes really start to blend together so nicely. It's not an overpowering boozy scent, like it won't smell like you've just had, you know, a glass of alcohol. The cinnamon, as I said, tones right down, becomes much more wearable and bearable, and that kind of golden syrup trail, it's not too much, it's not over the top. There is no note of golden syrup, so I'm assuming it's the kind of praline kicking in. Oh, it's so, so nice. But just in reference to the other scents that it does smell like, I'd say if you did have, you know, either Dolce Lissir, Eau de Janeiro or Ombre Narguilé, and you think those scents, whichever of those scents that you have are perfect, and you don't think that theme of fragrance can be improved upon, you can probably safely give this one a miss. I'd say you wouldn't really be missing out. But if you love the sound of those fragrances, or again, you like those fragrances and you would love to add, or you feel like you have space in your collection for another, you know, another fragrance within that theme, like spicy, cinnamon, boozy, woody, definitely worth checking out. As I said, after reading the reviews, you know, especially after I just purchased it and seeing people say it smells so similar to fragrances that I've already experienced and, you know, have in my collection, that's a bit deflated. But after trying it and after getting over the initial opening of the fragrance, so glad to have it. I wore this one yesterday. Stunning, smells so good. It was quite windy yesterday evening, so it was just lovely having this, you know, wafting around me. So beautiful. I'd say decent longevity. It lasted the whole night. I could smell it this morning as well, but I think that's because I caught some of it in my hair. So like even now when I sat down to do this video, I could smell it, and I hadn't even taken the cap off, and then I realised it's still there in, you know, in the hair somewhere. So that was a bit annoying, but yeah, it seems to have very good longevity. Very good, which is always good when you're looking at something that costs, you know, at the higher end of the scale. So in the UK, Angels Share is being sold for £165, so just a touch cheaper than the fragrances from the main line. Would I say it's worth it? Yeah, I would. Presentation is lovely, scent is lovely, and it's not something that's been overdone, even though there's fragrances that do smell in a similar vein to this. I wouldn't say there's anything that I've smelled that smells exactly like this. I'd say it's very pleasant. Most people who smell this will like it, but it's not too mainstream. So it's special enough, or special smelling enough for the price. Presentation is lovely. Longevity is very fair. So yeah, if this sounds like the kind of fragrance that you're interested in, it's definitely the kind of fragrance I'm interested in, go for it. Definitely worth getting a sample at least. But yeah, those are just my quick initial thoughts on this fragrance. If you've tried it, let me know what you think of it. Did you think it smelled very, very similar to the other fragrances I mentioned, or do you think it's different enough to warrant having a bottle? Let me know. Be cool to hear. But other than that, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.